For those of you who haven't caught up yet, this all began with a Twitter spat where I said that the left believes in equality while the right believes in quality. And Just Some Guy had to step in to explain that this way of thinking is going to lead to World War III. And he had to call it out and thus prevented a big atrocity. World War III has been prevented. Just Some Guy was the hero we needed. But unfortunately, like any good saga, Just Some Guy, the hero, was tainted by corruption. Look, the thumbnail is saying that equality is communism. Unironically true. He is now spreading my message. Look here, you bigot. Communism and equality. In a communist framework, the concept of equality is central to the goal of the communist society. But this equality is different than the one that the Americans have, because it doesn't talk about equality under the law. It talks about equality of outcome, where people have equal amount of wealth. So the goal of left-leaning ideology is to create people that have equal amount of wealth. So equality of outcome. This is the diversity, inclusivity, and equity system that the left-leaning people in the United States are practicing, and one of the main reasons that entertainment in the West is suffering. Because they do not hire writers, artists, or storytellers based on quality. They are hiring it based on percentages and arbitrary characteristics. So this is what I was talking about. In case there is still any misunderstanding, I think this cleared it up. I do not think that any charitable person can listen to this explanation and arrive to the conclusion that I'm talking about Nazism. Odios mio, 48 minutes. It's not that I shy away from responding to 48 minutes, but I'll probably just cover 1 hour here, and the rest of it is going to have to be on a live stream. Because if you make the video 48 minutes long, no one is going to watch it.
Oh, as usual, and simultaneously told me to shut up, take the L, and reach out for a debate. Again, as expected, which is why I knew how V would respond. What I didn't expect was a 40-minute long video.
So you made a 48-minute video in order to show me who's boss. That's fine. We will go for 4 hours. If you respond to this, maybe I will get Dev and Arch, maybe Sargon of Akkad, and we're going to have like a EFAP stream. How long are those? Like 5 hours? How do Mahler does it, by the way? Mahler and I. How do they sit there for 5 hours talking about the movie? It's astonishing. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like for me, 1 hour, maximum 2 is the amount I can give. So this is how you can defeat me, Just Some Guy. Like, make a 2-hour response video. I will not be able to respond to that. It would be much more than I can take.
Thought it was going to be a little bit shorter, so now I have the displeasure of having to listen to his and my own voice multiple times.
Yeah, I know. Like, I already said that in my previous response video, that I want you to suffer because you made me listen to my voice, which is very unpleasant. So I'm now making you listen to your voice. And you're now making me listen to my voice and your voice and my voice. So I will make you listen. Oh, you get the point.
V starts his video complaining about being able to dish it out but not take it, and then takes issue with me using his image from one of his own live streams. I wasn't aware he was so sensitive.
I wasn't sensitive. In fact, if I remember correctly, I said that I like that picture. I look very handsome in it. The only problem is that it's an old picture. And I suggested that you use a more recent one. But for some reason, I noticed you haven't. Why is that? Is it intimidating you? Is it the shirt? Why did you choose not to use my recent picture? Do you know I actually had to take like 50 pictures before my wife was satisfied with this one? It was a lot of hard work and hard labor. And now it seems that other content creators do not want to display it when talking about me. I gotta say, I'm a little bit disheartened by it.
Understand the intensity of my initial response, because they will see that V's tweets and responses weren't as pure and made in good faith as you think they are.
Did I say that my responses are pure? They are in good faith, but pure? They're purely entertaining. That's what they are. I'm an entertainer. I try to entertain people. I keep saying this, but for some reason, content creators don't believe me. They think I want to start a political movement or something. No, I don't. I just want to entertain people.
A perfect example is how he begins his response after his spiel about my video.
Now, I am going to skip them. And look how beautiful this picture is. Look at it. Yeah. I even used it as a thumbnail on my main video, on my main channel. I love it. And ironically, the more I look at it, the more it grows on me. I will not insult him back.
1 minute later.
Very cowardly, by the way.
Totally not an insult.
I mean, if you want to take cowardly as an insult, sure, but I think it's really watered down compared to everything else you said about me. Like, is there a single negative attribute you haven't given to me in the previous video? And also, calling you cowardly wasn't meant as an insult, it was as an observation. Like, you decided to quote tweet me so I don't see what you have to say about me. I would call that cowardly as an observation. But take into account that we are both content creators. We know how the internet works. There are people coming in my DM and saying, hey, did you see what this gossip girl said about you? And I was like, no, what? Oh my God. So I just responded.
By the way, that's a curious cell phone considering half your Twitter feed is nothing but quote tweets. Dude, the whole of this commentary sphere is people.
Yeah, but like, I don't quote tweet people in order for them not to see what I'm talking about them, right? Like, the reason I quote tweet people is to get the bukkake of likes, which we have already established in the previous video. Like, that is literally the only reason. You did it, and you said in the other video that you did it because you didn't want me to notice. Like, you wanted to be stealthy about it. I do it for the bukkake of likes. You do it for stealth. We are not the same.
Commenting on other people's comments. If you think it's so cowardly, why have you been doing it for over a decade? Do you think all your former game...
I don't think I've been on Twitter for a decade, though. Am I that old? You're making me feel like Uchiha Madara with white hair. I haven't aged that much. A decade on Twitter. Jesus Christ.
Gamergate friends who do the exact same thing are cowardly too? What a weird cell phone.
No, they just want the bukkake of likes. Like, honestly, stop mischaracterizing it. You have managed to accurately describe me spot on in your first video. I do it for the likes. Why are you changing the scenario now? Like, no, you got it right the first time. I confessed. And yet you're like, no, well, that's not good. He confessed. Shit. I gotta find a different accusation. See, the thing is, like, you don't do it for the likes, so I have to assume there's other reasons. That's why because if you were to admit, yeah, I'm like you, I am an entertainer, I want popularity, I want people to watch my stuff, I would be like, okay, well, you're quote tweeting me because you want likes. That would be fair. But that's not where we're at. That because I have a lot of subscribers, people message me and it's like, hey, this person is gossiping about you. And I'm like, what?
Come on, V. Come on. You're too old for that. This isn't some gossip girl nonsense. You looked at the quote tweet and caught some feelings. You clicked the...
Do you honestly believe that I pruned the internet in order to find quote tweets? It's not what I did. People legitimately came up. If you want, we can put on a wager. We can put like $500, right? You put it down. And if I show you the person that DM'd me and saying, hey, look, did you notice this quote tweet? I win the $500. If I can't show it to you, then you get the $500. You want to do that? You want to do that? Because I got receipts. I got receipts. There were people that actually DM'd me about it.
The little arrows, it's no big deal. No one cares. It's not like it's some Twitter faux pas. It's fine.
I don't deem you the enemy. I'm an entertainer. Alright? Like, if I see you on the street, I buy you beer. See? I was nice to him. I still am not. I would still buy him beer. Unironically, like, this is not me making a joke or anything like that. I have no beef with Just Some Guy. But it is entertaining to respond. I actually missed this whole video response series. It was the highlight of YouTube. I loved it. And now I have the chance to reproduce the magic. This is why we're doing it. At least this is why I'm doing it. I don't know why Just Some Guy is doing it. But I hope he's fun as well. It's what manly men do. I do not believe that people on the internet are my enemy. I don't do this, okay?
V, your entire Twitter feed and channel are full of you saying blue-haired lefties from the internet are the enemy of humanity and will destroy all of society.
Do I do that though? When is the last time that I did that? I mean, maybe if you have a time machine or something, and even then I never said like, this person is an enemy. I would say, yes, like ideologies can be harmful. I may dislike a politician every now and then and would give some reasons as to why. But I don't think I ever made a video like, this is the enemy. This is the person that I hate. No. It's just like, even on my main channel, when I do political commentary, I would just say, yeah, I disagree with this take, or I disagree with this idea. I don't think like I ever like targeted an individual. Especially not another content creator, because I do believe we're in the same boat, fighting against the corporate censorship and the algorithm. You may not believe that, that's fine. But I don't attack other content creators. I did make fun of people every now and then, that is true, when they deserved it. But I would never be able to say that I have enemies on the platform. In fact, some of those blue-haired people that you're talking about, I helped them get their channel back. They got community guideline strike, they got banned by the algorithm, and I did my best to direct them and to help them out in order to get their channels back. And I would do the same for you, by the way. And it's unlikely you will need it, but if you ever find yourself in such a situation, if you come to me, I'll do my best to help you out as well. And again, any content creator that has spoke with me and had this issue can vouch that yes, I did everything I could in order to help them out.
That's the talk du jour of everyone right of center. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go read Gordon Peterson's Twitter feed. You can't have it both ways. You made 2 videos where your whole argument was nothing but a Michael Richards rendition of, "He's a lefty! He's a lefty! He's a lefty! Look!"
But if you display left-leaning ideological talking points, you're a lefty. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you can be a lefty. I mean, you're calling me a right-winger and a conservative. Like, that's fine. I didn't know that these are insults.
"Look, he's a lefty." Kinda sounds like you think I'm your enemy.
What enemy? Okay, well, kinda sounds. That's your interpretation, but I'm telling you, you're not my enemy. Like, more than this, I don't know what I can do. Like, we are not fighting a bat. This is not a war. I do not have generals and officers. Yeah, like, literally, I mean, there are people in the world that I disagree with. That doesn't necessarily mean that I want to fight them, except maybe at the ballot box. Or, you know, like, I can have, like, an ideological disagreement with them, but this does not make you my enemy.
No, I believe the correct term is groupies. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys think you're fighting a culture war, right? And wars are usually against someone, are they not? And you're...
No, it's a metaphor. Like it's not actually a war. You can call it the generation gap, if you will. Yeah, I mean, I do believe that modern entertainment is taking a turn for the worse. I do believe that my solutions would fix it. But at the end of the day, I do not have the illusion that my YouTube channel is going to change Hollywood. Or is going to change Disney. However, since I do notice that the West is incapable of creating good entertainment anymore, I hope that my channel at least brings a couple of jiggles when I point out that, oh look, the actress who plays Snow White is now believing that because it's 2023, a romance story shouldn't be about the princess and the prince. Or when Ubisoft makes Prince of Persia, it is a game that doesn't have a prince in it, and it doesn't take place in Persia. You know, that's the type of videos I make. I don't know if you watch my channel, but this is the type of content you would find here. And yeah, it's kind of hilarious. It's like, oh, look at these people trying to make money and look at what they're selling type of thing. But I don't believe that because of my videos, culture is going to shift. I don't think like, oh, well, someone from Ubisoft is going to watch it and will say, oh, what did we do? Oh, we made actually a video game of Prince of Persia without the prince and it doesn't take place in Persia. God damn it, this Romanian is right. We need to rethink everything. I don't think like that's going to happen, no.
Trying to defeat that group, right? You're not trying to talk to them because, as you said in your previous live stream, these people can't be reasoned with. So what are...
I mean, what exactly would I be able to talk with a person who works at Ubisoft about? You know, they're getting their money from BlackRock, they're getting their ESG points, the investor is pumping cash into them. The underlings who probably want to make a good game, they don't really have that much say in it. Like, they can't really make decisions. So, like, what is there to talk about? The higher-ups get paid, they move on, and they fail upwards to other projects, while the underlings get fired that they already expected. So, what conversation do you want me to have? Like, what exactly can there be debated? And not to mention, you know, in your previous video, you already said that, well, V is ideologically possessed. There is no talking or discussing with these people. Or something along those lines. So I guess we're both the same in this scenario. It's just like for different reasons.
What are you trying to do?
The bukkake of likes must flow. It is social media. We are content creators. If I do not want clout, then what am I doing there to begin with? Absolutely. Every single content creator wants clout. If a content creator says he doesn't want clout, then he's lying to you. There is no other reason why you'd make videos on the internet if you don't want people to watch them.
I don't know. Put better ideas out in the world covered in a sea of blue-haired madness? Are you clout chasing? I would hope that that's not what you're doing, because...
No, I'm literally clout chasing. This is literally what I am doing. Again, you make an accusation, I confess. So I highly expect that in the next video, you will correctly label me as V the Clout Chaser. This is how I want to be named, okay? Just like I wanted you to show me my picture in the beginning, I want to be recommended as V the Clout Chaser. There is absolutely nothing wrong in clout chasing on social media. If you want your message to be spread across and to have more people hear it, you need to play the algorithm. The algorithm plays on likes. The more likes you get, the more your videos get shared. If you don't want your videos to get shared, then why do you even record yourself? Just talk to yourself in your own room between four walls. The only difference is that there are content creators who admit to this and content creators who pretend that they're not like the other girls. I am like the other girls.
As clout chasers tend not to believe the things they say. They tend to jump on the popular thing of the day. Do you not believe the things you say?
You know, there are many popular things of the day that happen at the same time, and you can jump on the one that you believe in. You don't jump on the ones you don't believe in. So if you're telling me that there are other clout chasers that do it poorly and are being disingenuous, that's on them. I'm not like those girls, though. I am like the girls, but like not like those girls. I'm like the other girls. I do clout chase while believing the things I say.
Are you just, dare I say, grifting?
This is the first time that someone accused me of being a commie, even if indirectly. So you believe that I'm like a very woke individual. I believe in diversity, inclusivity, and equity. However, in order to be grifting, I choose the underdog ideology. I choose the least popular one. Instead of like going on Twitch and streaming with Hassan Piker, playing video games with AOC, and pretending that representation matters. Instead, no, I choose to do this. I choose to be on this channel, and my top grift is to say that the left believes in equality while the right believes in quality. Clearly something that is uncharacteristic of me. Clearly something completely out of my personality and something that I would never say. Is this what you're insinuating? Because, like, honestly, this is the first time someone even remotely believes that I would be like a far-left individual who is grifting in order to appease to the right-wingers.
Unfortunately for V, I have too much dignity to pay for Twitter, so I couldn't properly respond to him on that platform.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, you wouldn't want a platform that doesn't censor people who disagree with you.
No, like I said in my previous video, I like to be thorough, and Twitter has a character limit.
This is why I pay for the fucking Twitter! It's $7 I will pay for you. If it's financial issues that you're dealing with, I will pay for it. You're a content creator. Getting that blue check mark is like a doctor getting a stethoscope. Like, if any other person buys a stethoscope, there's nothing they can do with it. But if you're a doctor, it's like a tool. You need it for your job. Being able to express yourself on Twitter helps you promote your channel. Now, again, I may understand that there's differences between content creators. See, like, again, I do it for the clout. I guess he doesn't do it for the clout, so maybe that is the explanation. I shouldn't assume that other people are doing what I am doing, which is trying to be entertaining, trying to get as many people to see my videos as possible, and having a good laugh. Other people may do it for different reasons, so maybe I shouldn't assume, but I will still pay for your Twitter. If that is what you want, you know, like, 1 month is on me. Just give me your PayPal, I will give you the $7, and you can have the blue check mark. I pay for Twitter. I support Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yes. The man. The legend. Elon Musk. I support him. I need to get a shirt with his name on it.
Elon Musk. Oh, you mean Phony Stark, the guy who just reinstated an account that regularly posts illicit images of children. That's the guy you support.
See, I do not know this controversy. I was pretty sure that there might be like something that he does which should make me distance myself completely from him. Despite all the good things that he did, like reinstating my shitposter friends on Twitter. If that is the case, what you're saying is illegal. Why isn't the person arrested running that account? Like, if someone posts illegal depictions of children, I don't want them banned from Twitter. I want them arrested. So, I do not know what this controversy is about, unironically, like I legitimately don't. But even if that's the case, why aren't the cops involved? Why aren't the feds on it?
The guy who reinstates the digital chomo.
Yeah, again, being a digital chomo is a crime. So, why isn't that person behind bars? And the fact that it annoys other people who enjoyed the previous Twitter, where any dissenting idea was banned.
Ain't nobody annoyed by you paying for Twitter. You can spend your money on whatever you want.
Oh, you've no idea. You have absolutely no idea how many people are annoyed on the fact that I pay for Twitter. Dude. It's like a football stadium. It's a mass of people. I would not be able to see past that mass of people if you put them in front of me in real life. It is fascinating. It's $7 and so many people are answered about it. No one is answered that you pay a Netflix subscription. Right? I mean, they have very good shows there like AJ and the Queen. They got, what else do they have? Oh, they had Cooties. Right? Like for some reason, if you pay a Netflix subscription, that is progressive, that is fine, you're a pillar of the community. But if you pay for Twitter, oh, did you know that Elon Musk reinstated an account? I see, but you know how many other accounts he banned? Well, you probably don't know about that. We're not going to get into the conversation regarding that because it would completely derail the purpose of the video. But I just wanted to make an interesting comparison.
I just find it funny that the people who complain about free speech don't have a problem being charged for it. I also find it funny that just before Phony Stark took over, y'all were complaining about the idea of having to pay to play. It seems like the only...
Yeah, but like before, if you wanted a blue check mark, you had to pay around $15,000 under the table. Did you know about that? Like before, it was literally impossible for some people to get a blue check mark. Now literally anyone can get a blue check mark. Like, are you telling me that you don't have $7 to buy a blue check mark? I think that at this price range, yes, free speech is literally accessible to anyone. Or you want to say, well, you know, you shouldn't have to pay for free speech. Well, motherfucker, did you pay for a computer in order to access the internet? Don't you pay a monthly fee in order to have internet access? Don't you have to pay for electricity in order to open your computer or your smartphone or whatever? So, like, you're already fine with all those prices in order to be able to access the internet and say your speech. But for some reason, you're not fine with paying $7 for Twitter. How do you want Twitter as a platform to exist? All the advertisers don't like it now because you have free speech. Like, they immediately left. Like, Elon Musk didn't even make a single change in policy. Like, the moment he just became the CEO, you had advertisers flee. So the only other way for him to get money is from the users. Yeah, I'm more than willing to support this platform in existing by giving my contribution of $7 a month. Now, again, if you're saying, well, it's paid to win, okay, that's your opinion. I disagree. And I already gave the examples as to why.
Only reason you support it is because it's being done by a guy who you think likes you. But every time he screws you over...
I don't think that Elon Musk even knows who I am. I also don't believe he personally screwed me over. But if you want to know, it's not about the name of the person. Like when Elizabeth Warren, which is a Democrat, was talking about how big tech has a monopoly and 230 is a problem, I was like, yeah, sure, no. I mean, why do I care the name of the person? If they say something or do something that I agree with, I will say that I agree with, and I will support them in doing whatever it is that I like.
And he's jiggered you raw a couple of times. Y'all get mad.
I do not know whether to throw this on being disingenuous or... But yeah, by the way, like, I think this is normal. Like, if Elon Musk does something that I don't like, I would call it out. Like, yeah, I would get mad if he does something that would upset me. Like, if he was to ban just some guy for something he said, yeah, I would call him out. I was like, Elon, what the fuck are you doing? Unironically, like, is this not normal? Like, are you not supposed to dislike a person when they do things that you don't like and support them when they do things that you like? Isn't that how it works? Maybe I'm just, like, outdated and I'm using, like, different moral compasses and stuff. I don't know. Or should I throw this on being a liar? But this would be the second maybe he saw the future.
No, it's 2, because live streams count as video.
Yeah, we already went through this disagreement. I apologized. I guess you don't believe in Jesus and stuff, because you don't seem to have redemption in your heart. But yes, I discussed it in passing in a live stream. I even forgot I did it. And then when you reminded me, I was like, oh, okay. I understand. And I apologize. I don't know what more can I do.
And you made one right after our Twitter exchange. Here's a clip.
Today, I didn't criticize the content creator. He manifested himself into my DMs. You did.
Before I suspected it, but now I know that you're disingenuous and a liar. And that's...
No, because like later on I apologize. See, like, I mean, you can think I'm disingenuous and a liar, but honestly, I'm not. Like, legitimately, this was a misunderstanding.
It's going to make this all the more interesting. He finally gets into my response and repeats this claim about people DMing him about my tweet. And I'm going to say it again. Stop. It's okay. You click the arrows on the quote tweet.
No, unironically, it's not okay. Like, I don't want people to believe that I'm lying. I legitimately had people telling me that you quote tweeted me. I know it's okay. Like, there's no reason why I wouldn't confess to it. Like, I mean, I confess to the bukkake of likes. I confess that I'm a cloud chaser. Why would I not confess to this? Because it's legitimately something that did happen. Like, I had people DMing me and saying, hey, did you see that just some guy quote tweeted you? In case you didn't know, this might came as a shock, but like, you can see it yourself in your YouTube analytics. We share the same subscribers. Like, the same people that watch you, watch me and vice versa. I had people saying, mommy and daddy are fighting. I do not like this analogy, by the way, but it is what it is. You're trying to talk to me and you're trying to insult me behind my back.
Dude, if I wanted to insult you, I would have done it. Nobody's...
Your last video was insult after insult after insult. Like, seriously, guys, if you're watching this and you haven't watched this first response video, go watch it. Like, look, I'll prove it to you. This is how confident I am on what I'm saying, right? So, let's go to videos. And we're going to see the one he did, right, 3 days ago. And we're going to click at random. Going to pass the commercials. Wait a little bit. We're doing this live. I'm not editing anything, right? So you don't see that I made several takes or whatever. And we're going to click, I don't know, like, let's click here. Are we going to hear an insult? What do you guys think? I'm going to rescue.
Yeah, that's called a moral dilemma. And for normal, rational, ethical people...
Right? He's not calling me normal. So I'm abnormal. I am irrational.
Poses a problem because they'd actually feel guilty about letting someone die who they could have saved.
I'm a psychopath.
But for ideologues like you...
I'm an ideologue, okay.
Anyone not in your little care circle, their lives are forfeit. So if that other person were, say, a 5-year-old girl, well, for you, the choice is easy. You'd pick your mom. I
mean, the question was, like, if there's a burning building and your mother is on the right and a stranger is on the left, who would you go for? And the answer is simple, right? Like, almost everyone would go for their mother. Just some guy disagrees, calls me abnormal, irrational, and a psychopath. All right, let's see another take. Like, maybe I just happen to be lucky. Let's click on this one. Let's see if he's going to insult me here.
Tweet. After all, I didn't respond to you directly. I quote tweeted you. You aren't following me. You just saw the quote tweet, clicked on it, and dropped your room temperature response.
My room temperature response calls me unintelligent, low IQ. Did you see what he's doing?
Dude, if I wanted to insult you, I would have done it.
How do you have so much money, just some guy? I thought that gas is very expensive in the United States, yet you can afford to buy so much to constantly gaslight me. You're gaslighting me non-stop. How can you say that you're not trying to insult me when literally every single response in your previous video was an insult to the point where I can just click out randomly without even trying firsthand to figure out where the insults are?
Nobody's talking about you behind your back, and even if they were, you don't have a problem with it because here you are doing it yourself. And like I said before, you've been doing it for a decade.
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk behind my back. My point was that if you talk behind my back and I find out, I'm going to respond to it. I mean, you can talk behind my back, but do it properly so I don't find out if you don't want my response.
Stop damseling. I thought you had a stupid argument. I pointed out why it's a bad argument. I know you're very sensitive about it, but it's the internet, son.
But stop projecting. I understood your response. I got your feedback, and I gave you my feedback, and now you're the one that's upset. I'm not upset. This is fun. This is entertaining. My subscribers find it entertaining. I find it entertaining. I have no ill will against you. This is like, you're making a comeback to me, and I have to respond to it. If you don't want me to respond, don't make a comeback or make it someplace where I can't see it. Like, it's not rocket science. God. Oh, well, I mentioned it. Yes, but that's not a video. That's a live stream. That's a different thing.
Yes, it's a different thing. Like a live album is different from a studio album. They're totally...
Yeah, but like, literally, YouTube calls it different things. That's why it's in my brain. You know, as a content creator, I deal with the YouTube platform every single day of my life, and it's like video and live stream, so like it's ingrained. Again, I agree with your take. Like, I have ceased, I have surrendered. Yes, you're right. A live stream counts as a video. It was a mistake from my part. What more do you want me to do?
Totally not both albums. Dude, it's a video. Stop being pedantic. I get it, you're trying to score points, but it just...
No, I legitimately do not... Like, if I was trying to score points, I wouldn't apologize. I would double down. But no, I genuinely, unironically, didn't know what you were talking about. It can happen.
This makes you look silly.
Well, isn't it how it's done? Like, for 4 minutes, you went for name-calling and personal attacks and just learning from the best, from YouTubers that are bigger than me.
What are you talking about?
See, the gaslight. Again, like, he refuses to acknowledge that he made a video where he insults me constantly. You think that just because in this video you don't put the insults? It's been like 6 minutes and you hadn't had any snarky remark at my character? Like, do you think that erases the past? I think, like, this accusation is a lot more damning than you accusing me of not knowing that I made 2 videos. You made an entire video insulting me, and now you're, like, backpedaling and like, well, no, never happened. Just admit it, it's fine. I've been a content creator for 10 years. I heard worse.
You spent 2 videos taking shots at me for being the left, trademarked. I thought it only fair that I speak with the same candor.
But I don't understand. That's not even an insult. Like, if you're a left-leaning person, that's fine. Okay? And by the way, the reason that I think you're the left is because when I make an argument saying that the left believes in equality and the right believes in equality, you're the one with the self-report. And you're coming up and you're defending the left. It's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a leftist. And I don't know, like, why you're so defensive about it. You call me a conservative. I don't care. It's fine. You don't put a label on it. Why are you being so defensive?
He goes on and on about this before getting to the part where I point out that people agreeing with his arguments doesn't make him right.
But yeah, that's a really interesting tactic, right? So you say that my arguments are bad without showing any evidence, right? It's just your opinion that they are bad, because we're not talking about mathematics. We're not talking about 2 + 2 = 4. We're just talking about opinion. So I say the right believes in equality. Your take is that this is going to lead to World War III. This is going to lead to the rise of the Fourth Reich. So you think that my take is bad. But that's just your opinion. Right now, I counter by saying, well, there's a lot of people that believe my opinion. Like, almost everyone believes that the right believes equality and the left believes in equality, right? And you're like, well, it doesn't matter how many people you have on your side. Okay. But, like, you're basically saying I can't justify my opinion being correct by appealing to the public, but you can justify my opinion being wrong by appealing to your subjective reasoning. Do you not see the issue with this? Did you not? No? Okay, it's fine. Alright, my opinion is bad, as you say.
And real quick, I'm cutting all that out because my man rambles. A lot.
I love to ramble. It's entertaining, what can I say? No, but it's like a signifier, isn't it? Like when almost... Oh, you just cut out the argument, not because I ramble. You cut out the part where I pointed out that if a lot of people agree with you, then chances are you may be more right than a person that has no one agreeing with them. It doesn't mean that, like, it's not 100%. Granted. However, it is, in most cases, a signifier. Almost everyone universally doesn't complain over the fact that the left believes in equality and the right believes in equality. And when the overwhelming amount of people don't have to bring the Nazis and Jews and Marvel movies into every conversation, sure, you know, you're right. Maybe that doesn't necessarily say it's a bad argument that you did, but it's a very damn indication that it is probably a bad argument.
I'll listen to this 4 times and it still doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't know how to simplify it any further. It is a flawed system, but it is the best we got. The more people agree with something, the more likely it is that something to be true. This is why when someone goes to court, they get a jury of their own peers, and the jury has to agree before passing a verdict. Sometimes the jury can be wrong, even if they're unanimous. It has happened, but it's still like the best system we got. Like, what other system would you want to verify if an opinion is true or not, when the opinion is not based on science? Like, if we're all at a party and 7 people suggest that we watch movie A over movie B because movie A is better, and you haven't seen either movie A or B, which one are you likely to watch? Right? Now, of course, you can watch the movie that the people suggest and it can be shit. But how likely is it, considering that more people agree that movie A is better? Again, like, it's not a perfect system, I get it. The problem is that when I have a take, you're unilaterally calling it bad based on your subjective opinion. I am like unilaterally calling it good based on my own subjective opinion and on the fact that an overwhelming amount of people agree with my take. That was what I was saying. Now, if you haven't understood it even this time, I don't know how else to explain it. I'm sorry, but I hope my subscribers understand it. And maybe my subscribers can explain it to you in some other way. Did I fail? I hope I didn't fail. I think I made a good job. I'm happy with this explanation.
V, just because a bunch of people agree with you doesn't mean you're right. But let's go through this piece by piece so you understand why your argument is so bad. 1. Where is your evidence that almost everyone universally agrees with your claim?
I mean, what evidence was in the ratio you got on Twitter? I would call that a start.
Quality and quality. So how do you know that everyone agrees with the claim itself? 2. Where is your evidence that there are scores of people mentioning, as you said in your tweet, World War II and Marvel movies? 3.
By spending a lot of time on Twitter. I mean, clearly you're not going to say that you have never seen people using World War II and Marvel movies on Twitter. In fact, you did it to me. You did it to me. Man, like, how many times are the Nazis and the Holocaust and the Jews not trending on Twitter? Now, how many times do those conversations pop up in real life? Like, are you really going to try to gaslight me just like you did before, that in your previous video there are no insults? Do you think that I'm going to spend my whole day now, like, finding arguments for something that is universally accepted? I will let our subscribers decide whether or not people on Twitter who argue are going to use World War II references and Marvel movies in their interpretations. I am so convinced that I am right that I'm not even going to look for it. I am pretty much sure that any person who uses Twitter has experienced it at least once. And I'm like, oh, you're like Thanos, you're evil, oh, you believe in this, oh, this is what the Nazis believed in, blah, blah, blah. Every single fucking time, and it's only on Twitter. Like, in real life, you do not get this. At least, maybe my experience of living in Eastern Europe might be fundamentally different than that of the United States. But I don't think that's the case, because I have been to other social media platforms, and this did not seem to be a problem occurring as often as it did on Twitter.
That the majority of people may disagree with an argument doesn't make that argument bad. I can give an easy example. Atheism. Most people don't agree with atheism. Does that make the atheist argument that there doesn't appear to be any evidence of the existence of deities a bad argument?
No, but as I mentioned before, it's not a perfect system. So while you can find exceptions, overwhelmingly in most amount of cases, the more people agree to something, it is most likely to be true, especially when you are not enforced in order to believe in something. So in the case of religion, like if you're a devout Muslim in the Middle East, the punishment for being an atheist is quite severe. So there may actually be more people believing in atheism, but we don't know, due to the fact that it's not a level playing field. But when it is a level playing field, like on Twitter, and you get ratioed, it is quite possible that those people may be in the right. Again, it's not 100% guaranteed, but it is possible. Definitely more likely than just you coming up with a subjective opinion and saying it's a bad thing.
I get that you don't like the analogy that I used. However, it does explain why I think your argument is bad.
Why wouldn't I like the analogy that you used? Dude, you don't know me. Like, this is what I'm starting to understand. I'm not a Christian. I make hentai games. I know you think like I'm a conservative and maybe you believe that I'm with Jesus and family and shit because I showed you a picture of my wife. No, I'm saying I'm most likely right. You know, it's like when you see one of those Disney trailers and it's downvoted to high heaven, it's most likely that movie is not going to be profitable. Kind of like that. Sometimes it can be, though. Sometimes it can be. But, like, most of the times it's not. This is what I'm trying to talk about. Like, you can kind of predict things based on some signifiers. You can't predict them with 100% accuracy, but you're pretty damn close.
That's not even an argument. It's just an assertion. Then in response to my comment about Americans supporting something doesn't make it bad.
I pointed... Yeah, but it's like a very fringe, extreme... Yeah, we're talking about diversity, inclusivity, and equity, right? And it's supported by a very small minority of Americans, usually dictated top-down. And yes, I do think it makes it bad. Like, objectively so. We have seen what happened with entertainment that has supported this. We have seen how IPs have gone bankrupt. We have seen how people who used to be fans and purchase stuff from that IP suddenly distance themselves from it. I don't think it's a good idea when you have a writer or an actor insulting the customer on Twitter. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, right? And these things are enforced by the trust and safety councils, by banks who give out loans, like ESG loans, which are very profitable for people. But like the overwhelming public, like the general population, doesn't seem to support it. So yes, when you have like a fringe minority of people, especially when you compare it to the world, like India, China, Africa, who don't support these things, yeah, it's safe to assume that it's a bad idea. Again, you can be wrong. You know, just because like the overwhelming amount of people resist diversity, inclusivity, and equity, you know, it can be a great idea. It can be the best idea ever. However, I think meritocracy is a better idea. And it's not just my subjective opinion. I also bring the other people who agree with me, which are overwhelming. And I know that this is something that you won't accept. However, why should I accept your take saying that my take is bad? Like if I bring other people that agree with me and you bring no one, why should I take your assertion over mine? Group of Americans that support something. And when you go into other cultures, you do not see the same support for the same thing. And the fact that Americans support that something isn't necessarily grassroots. It can also be because it is I mean, my perfect example was the very famous documentary done by evil man Matt Walsh. Despite the fact that he is evil, unfortunately, many people have seen the documentary. It's one of the most famous that exists right now. He went to Africa, into a village. And he asked people about gender theory over there. They didn't know anything. Never heard about it. We're completely clueless. Right? But meanwhile, the educated masses in the academia in the United States were very knowledgeable on the subject. Right, so like, one of them is right, the other isn't. Right, and now this is completely subjective. Like, you can decide which whatever you want. But like, how do you decide which one is correct? Well, you're going to use your subjective analysis, won't you? And chances are you're going to say, well, look, all these other people agree with me. That's pretty much how human beings settle disputes when it's something that's not mathematical or scientific. But to simply claim, it's like, no, you're wrong because I think so. I mean, that's nice, but that's also not an argument. In fact, the person that would bring more people behind him would have a stronger argument, even though it's not infallible. Not every argument has to be infallible, by the way. Stated top down. By the academia, by the politician, by the Trust and Safety Council of social media, so on and so forth. Yeah, so like that isolated tribe in Africa, which doesn't have access to the Trust and Safety Council and the academia and the HR lady, they have managed to arrive at a completely different conclusion that seems to align with most other places that don't have a Trust and Safety Council and an HR lady. Interesting how that works, right? Like different cultures, the different traditions, different languages, and they all seem to agree on something. And the only thing that they're lacking is the HR lady. I just find that interesting. Of course, not an argument. Sure, I understand.
No, there was no French. You were talking about Americans in general. Now you're adding in these other groups, but that doesn't address the argument. Just because Americans, whichever ones you're talking about, support something doesn't make it bad.
But that doesn't make it good either, right? So how do we argue if something is good or bad? Like if it only exists in one place and it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, I'm just saying, yeah, like maybe you're right, but like why should you be right though? Why should you be right? Because it's subjective.
That's just an assertion. You need to make an argument. First, what are you talking about? Second,
I mean, that's your fault if you don't know what I'm talking about. You have access to the video. My subscribers understood what I'm talking about, because I also thought it's like, well, maybe, you know, I didn't get the message across, but when I look at the comment section, I see people understanding what I'm talking about. So therefore, it can't be me.
Why is it bad? That's the information I...
Oh, it's simple. Because it's not a meritocracy. That's why it's bad. Like, if you're not hiring the best pilot for the job, and you're hiring based on any other characteristics, especially arbitrary characteristics that don't have anything to do with improving the job, you're going to most likely not get the best pilot. Now, when you apply this at a large scale, eventually you're going to get with accidents. I mean, we already see what's happening in the entertainment industry, where you don't want to hire the best writer for the job. You're going to end up with shitty writing.
need to understand the point you're trying to make. Whether it'll help,
You know, you can, of course, say that just because a small amount of minority in America believes in something, that doesn't make it true. And my argument is that, well, just because the overwhelming amount of human population believes in something, it probably makes it true.
No, it doesn't.
Are you saying that when I use the word probably, right? So I didn't say it makes it true. I said it probably makes it true. Are you really going to disagree with that? Are you going to disagree that if the overwhelming amount of population believes that 2 + 2 = 4, and I say it probably makes it true, you're going to say, no. I mean, okay, you know, I guess we'll continue this debate on the stream, because it's already been quite a long video, and I don't think people want to watch videos more than 1 hour. They get discouraged, and also I need a break. Yeah, I'll see you on the stream, which I'm making right now. And you guys can click on it. There's a link into the pinned comment section. It will take you there. And hopefully we'll have an entertaining time. I definitely enjoy responding to Just Some Guy. It's interesting. What can I say? I do appreciate that he hasn't insulted me in this video. I haven't insulted him as well. I don't think like calling him a coward is an insult. I don't think that... well, when he admits, like, that's why I did it. He admits, like, well, I quote tweeted you so you don't see. Okay, well, that's a little bit cowardly in my opinion. And also the fact that he's upset that I called him a leftist. It's my observation. If you're not a leftist, if you vote Republican, okay. Is he going to vote for DeSantis or Donald Trump? I mean, if he does, then I will apologize. I mean, I'll be like, okay, well, you're not a leftist. Or maybe not vote at all. Like, if he doesn't vote at all, I will also be like, okay, well, maybe you're apolitical. I do believe in that. You can be neutral. You don't care. Okay, well, if you don't care, that's fine. I'm not an extremist. I'm not, well, if you don't vote, then you still vote. No. You don't care. Okay, well, you're not in the game. That's fine. And I will say, well, you're not a leftist because you don't vote. But I do think he doesn't vote Republican, definitely. Is my assertion correct? How did I figure that out? How am I able to predict the future? Anyway, right, I'll see you guys on the live stream. Take care.